Hello and happy October 31st. It is the last day of October, which means it's Halloween. How many of you are getting ready for trick-or-treaters? I don't get too many in my neighborhood, so I'm going to go over to Andrea and John's and see Riley dressed up and kind of hang out at their place passing out treats while they take Riley to a few of the neighbors, and then they'll come back and I've got a basket of treats to put on my front porch until I get home for the little ones that come by my house. So looking forward to that. I always love seeing the trick-or-treaters and the costumes, and it's very, for me, very nostalgic, remembering going to the store and picking out a costume, and it was in a cardboard box with the clear cellophane so you could see the plastic mask and the whole bit. And lots of times we just put together costumes at home and we just had so much fun. Today being October 31st, it means that it is the last day of our kids collection sale. All of the online kits in that collection are on sale up to 30% off. So I placed an order earlier today for some of the card keeper kits because I want to send a few of those as gifts. And you might consider that too with the holidays coming up. Get some gifts. We've got kits that are one-time project kits. We've got card kits with no stamping. We've got kits that you do a little stamping, so something for everybody. Today is also the last day of our joining promotion. People, this is such a great deal. I'm surprised we haven't had more people take advantage of it. Our normal starter kit includes $125 of product of your choice for $99 plus tax, and it all ships free. And through the end of today, October 31st, you get to choose an additional $30 of product. So great deal. If you have any questions, you can check out information about what it means to purchase a starter kit on my blog, stampinpiece.com, or feel free to contact me with questions. I've got two fun projects for you today. So I'm going to flip my camera around so we can get started. While I'm doing that, would you please share this live video and invite others to join us on this Halloween afternoon? Okay, if you missed Tuesday's Facebook Live, I showed a one-sheet wonder, an easy 6x6 one-sheet wonder, and made 3 cards from that easy 6x6 one-sheet wonder. So that is posted to my blog, stampinpiece.com, so you can watch the video there, get all the dimensions, products used, etc. And products used in that last Facebook Live were the Marbled Elegance Designer Series paper, the Heart of Elegance bundle, which includes the stamp set and a nice set of dies, as well as a gold twisted thread and heart sequins. And these products, just so you know, these products, and I want to remind those who were here on Tuesday, these products are brand new. They will be available for the public to order starting November 5th, so next Tuesday. All right. Now, I don't know if Shelly is on today, but I met Shelly at a retreat, craft retreat, a year ago, and then saw her again when I attended the same retreat in September, hosted by Julie Heights in Oak Harbor, Ohio. But this was a little gift she made for everybody. It is a bookmark, and I have been using it with my library book, and I have found it to be so handy. So I kind of was looking at it and thought, I can make that. So I've changed the dimensions just to make it a little bit larger. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make one of these corner bookmarks. Lori Hall, I agree. The products in that Hearts of Elegance and Marbled Elegance collection are going to be popular, and I do expect that they will sell fast. So, you know, heed the advice here. If you like it and you want to buy it, I suggest you buy it right away. And again, the first day for that is November 5th. Okay, so for my bookmark, which I said is going to be just a little bit larger than the one Shelley made for everybody, but I'm using a piece of 6-inch by 3.5-inch paper, okay? 6-inch and 3.5. All righty. And again, this is from the Marbled Elegance paper. So I'm going to put this 6-inch by 3.5-inch piece of designer series paper in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to score at 3 inches. Then I'm going to turn it to the vertical position and put it at 3 inches. Now this is where you need to really stop and think for a moment, okay? And I should say that this is going to be the inside of my bookmarker. This will be the outer, okay? So I'm working with the inside of my bookmark facing up. So we've got our score line, and now I'm going to take my cutting blade and I'm going to cut down at that 3 inches, but just to the score line, okay? And there are these little grooves on the side of our blades that I'm using to match up to the 3-inch mark and my score line that I made. And then I'm going to take, keeping it in place, not moving it, then I'm going to take my scoring tool and just score the other half. So this is, let me get this out of the way. So this is what it now looks like. This will be the outside. Here's the inside. I've got this flap, and I've got the score line here. So I'm going to flip it so the top is now near me, and I'm just going to clip off that strip, and I'm going to angle cut the other side of my flap. And I'm doing kind of sharp angles, or what do I want to say? Very angled, probably more angled than I normally would do. The reason for that is I want it to be hidden when I put this together. So now I'm going to flip it back to the top. So the flap is at the top. I'm going to score that, go over that with my bone folder, and open it back up. And then I'm going to take the bottom right corner. Remember, this is the inside. The bottom right corner, and pull it up until both sides of this triangle are basically right up to those two score lines. I have them basically as close to those score lines as I can get them without covering the score line. So I just want to kind of butt that up to the score lines. And then I'm going to pull my little flap down again, and you can see why I cut such a sharp angle, especially on this outer point, because I want that to be, that flap to be hidden. I'm going to take a little bit of multi-purpose glue. Remember, use it sparingly. A little goes a long way. And then I'm just going to close this and give these score lines a final good crease with my bone folder, okay? So this basically, now I've created that pocket that I can put on the corner of a page wherever I'm leaving off in my book. So let's finish this off using some of the element from the Hearts of Elegance bundle. And I noticed Julie had a post here. Let's see. The last post I see, the dies alone are a must. I couldn't agree with you more. So here's the stamp set, but look at all these heart dies. Those alone are going to be super popular as well. Now, I have punched a circle of Melon Mambo cardstock, and I used my 2 3/8 inch circle. You could use whatever you like. I'm going to adhere this to my bookmark, but I only want to adhere the circle on that upper corner, that upper triangle. So I'm going to put some adhesive there, maybe a little out here just to get the edge. And I'm just going to center it there as best I can. Okay. So I still have that opening to go over the corner of my book page. Yes, Julie, it is a happy color. And then I have cut this decorative heart from that new die, Hearts of Elegance die collection. And you can see how pretty and delicate the design is. And it punches out super easily. Okay, you don't have to use your piercing tool to poke out any little circles or anything crazy like that. Just super pretty. And same with this one, but I punched this with Melon Mambo cardstock also. So as I'm doing this, for those of you who may have heard the term case and not know what it means, it basically means create and share everything, or copy and share everything, copy and what was the other thing? Selectively edit. Basically means we're taking an idea that we see and we might copy it exactly, or we might make some changes and make it our own, or use a different stamp set or dies and punches and papers and all that. That's what casing means. So here you can see this is the one I received from Shelley, and this is the one I've designed. Alrighty, let me show you just a few more before I go on to our second project for today. So this is a great little something. If you give books, this is a great little something to tuck in with your gift of a book. And I think people will appreciate it. If you're a reader, and especially if you have more than one book going at a time, these are great. Super quick, super easy to make. Here's one that really is very much the same. The only difference is I chose a different piece of designer series paper from that Marbled Elegance collection. So the inside does look different. You can see on the outside too, it's a different paper, but very, very similar. Here's another one. Now this, I used the same designer series paper, but the cool thing about this designer series paper is it's, no matter how you cut it and what you make from it, each is going to be a little bit different. So, and here I took the square idea that Shelley used, and then some layered hearts. Here's with some different paper with the reds more of the real reds, even kind of a cherry cobbler in there, the square and the layers, and then another one with the same finished design as the one I just made for you. All right, so maybe I'll tuck these into Valentine cards for my daughters and nieces in February. All right, now, sometimes when I'm giving books as gifts, I know exactly the person's taste, what they like to read, maybe authors they enjoy, but sometimes I know they're avid readers, but I don't necessarily know. If I don't know those people real well, I may not know what they like to read, in which case I would want to give a gift card for a bookstore. And I often do that for people I know who love to read as a hobby. So I'm going to show you how to make this bookmark, or I'm sorry, this gift card holder. We finished the bookmark. I'm going to show you how to make this really cute and easy gift card holder. And it doesn't have to be for just book lovers. If you're giving a book and a bookmark, this is a nice thing to add, but you can use this gift card holder for anybody, any occasion, okay? All right, so to do this, I'm going to start with a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 by 4 1/4, okay? It's just single layer, 5.5 by 4 1/4. To that, I'm going to add a piece of designer series paper, and I want to use the this floral as my background. It's a little more subtle than the DSP I'll be using for the actual gift card holder part. All right, so cardstock is 5.5 by 4 1/4. DSP is 5 1/4 by 4. Then I've got a piece of coordinating designer series paper, and this measures 3 inches by 12 inches. 3 inches by 12 inches. So when you think about that, you could make 4 of these gift card holders with this strip from 1 sheet of DSP. So once I've cut that 3 inches by 12 inches, I'm going to score at 4 inches from each end. I'll use my bone folder to give those folds a nice crease. And because this paper is non-directional, either end can be my front, okay? Either end can be my, or either, what do I want to say? I can have it any direction, okay? But what's going to happen is that whatever piece I have on the right is going to be on the back. The left and the middle section are what I'll be using to form the actual gift card part, okay? So it's going to basically end up like this. So before I start adhering for the pockets, oh, here it is. I'm going to just punch a half circle, or you can use basically any punch shape you have. You can even use a die, but you just want to cut out some kind of semicircle or groove for the top of that left flap. Then you're going to use your liquid glue, multi-purpose glue, green glue, whatever you call it, and use it very sparingly. I'm just putting a very narrow line of glue on the outer edge and the bottom edge. A little goes a long way with that glue. I've discovered that when people don't like that glue, it's because they're using too much and it gets everywhere and it gets very sticky and tacky on their fingers, on their tabletop, all that. So remember, a little goes a long way, okay? So now this is, let's make sure that's good and sealed. Okay, so this is what I have now. So I'm gonna think of this as like a mini card, all right? And I wanna be sure the gift card holder portion is on the left. I'm going to close it and adhere it to a piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches. Okay, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches. Alrighty. Then I've cut another piece of white just because I felt like when I put this here, it looks really nice. I love the monochromatic look, but I wanted this to pop just a little bit more. So I cut a piece of white cardstock that measures 4 3/8 by 3 3/8. So I'm just going up a small bit. Just want the tiniest little border all the way around, okay? And I will adhere this to that base now. Just right in the center. I've got a piece of basic white for the inside to write a message or stamp a sentiment, and it measures, let me think a second, 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So now you can see all these fun layers there. It makes it really interesting. All right, now let's finish this off. I'm going to start with this gold, metallic gold heart that I die cut using the Hearts of Elegance die set. And I'm putting it towards the left, near the fold, and centered between top and bottom. You can choose to put it wherever you like. Then we're going to do some quick embossing here, heat embossing. So I've got my Versamark ink. This is what you want to use when you're doing heat embossing, using embossing powder, etc. And this says, let's celebrate. I was going to do happy birthday, but I thought sometimes it's nice to have a sentiment like this because then you have more options of ways to use it. Let's celebrate could be a birthday, but it could also be a job, a new job, a promotion, a move, an engagement, all kinds of things, right? And this comes from the Simply Said stamp set, which is in our annual catalog, okay? It's a great one. If you don't have a lot of sentiments, I would highly suggest this stamp set because it gives you a good variety of sentiments to make different kinds of cards. So I'm going to ink this up. Let's celebrate with my Versamark ink. Oops, I forgot to do one thing first. When you heat emboss, and we do have this heat emboss accessory kit, I'll call it. Don't remember the exact name, but it comes with all these different things. So use this little, I don't even know what this is called, embossing buddy. Okay, it's filled with a powder. And basically what it does, it eliminates the static that might be on our cardstock. And it also will remove any like lint or something like that that's hanging on to it. So once I've inked my stamp with the Versamark ink, I'll just set it down. And then I'll open up my gold embossing powder. I'm just just going to tap that, get off any excess powder. And I see I just have a little spot of, there we go, let's see. So you can use the brush for that if you have any little bits you want to get rid of. And then we have this, what I call the crafter's tweezers or reverse tweezers. What it does is it holds your paper. And it's so convenient to use when you're heat embossing because you don't have to worry about getting your fingers too close to the heat tool. Now watch what happens if you're not familiar with heat embossing. After a few seconds, you'll begin to see the powder melt. So it'll be more metallic looking, almost a wet looking. Do you see it? Let me hold it up closer. And you want to make sure, and I always like to, when I think it's finished, I always take a good look at it, make sure it all looks metallic and glossy, almost like a wet look. I can see the R isn't quite melted all the way, so I'm going to go back in with that heat. And then I like to just go over it a little bit more just to be sure I didn't miss anything. And then to remove it, you just give that reverse tweezer a squeeze. Isn't this like, this is like the best invention for paper crafters. I love that. And then many of you know my trick for cutting even angles on banners or sentiments. So I'm just gonna cut an angle. I'm gonna take that piece that I cut away and flip it and put it at the other end with the spacing kind of the same as the other end. Then I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to place the top blade right against that little scrap that I cut away and snip. And that way I now have two even angles. One's not more or less angled than the other. They're the same angle. All right. And I'm going to finish this off by adding my sentiment to my gift card holder with a couple of dimensionals. Lori, don't you love that tip? I know. When I learned that tip about cutting angles, I was like, wow. And I still love it. I use it so much. It's easy, it's fast, it's convenient, and you get great results every time. Okay, so there's our two projects. Oh, one more thing I was going to do. In Tuesday's Facebook Live, I mentioned how thin these heart embellishments are. I'm trying to see if you can see that. See how thin they are? Trying to get that in there for you to see. They're almost paper thin. And I said they are so thin that I would be very comfortable using them on a scrapbook page as embellishments and even on the inside of a card. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use some of these gold heart sequins, to decorate the inside of my gift card holder. They are 3 sizes. I think I got one too. Small, medium, and large, as you can see here. And I think that looks pretty good, don't you? Maybe I'm going to put 2 over here on this side. Just because. No reason other than I love these. Okay. So there is my finished gift card holder. What do you think? What do you think of today's projects? A fun corner page bookmark, and then this pretty gift card holder made from fabulous designer series paper. It's quick, it's easy. I love the multiple layers on it, and it's still quite thin. So even when I add a gift card to it, it's not going to be a problem mailing it. It's not too bulky at all. Awesome, right? Okay, you know I like to give things away. So who is interested in having their name put into the drawing to receive one of these projects made today? If you are, please type in the comments now. Let's do, since these are new products, how about if we do Hearts of Elegance? I think we did Marbled the other day, or Marbled Elegance for the name of the paper. But let's do Hearts of Elegance. That's the name of the stamp and die collection. The next thing I want to use out of here is the flowers and leaves, the stamps and dies. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them though. And I want to try this big heart. Ah, so much to do with this. I love it. Love it. And isn't heat embossing fun? Every time I'm like, ooh, here comes the magic when I start to see that melt. Okay, are there any questions about the projects or the products I used? Another reminder, the products are brand new and they have been on the demonstrator pre-order list, so that's why you're seeing them now. However, customers need to wait till November 5th, which is also voting day in America. November 5th, and you will be able to purchase these products. I do expect they will be very popular. So please heed my warning. If you love it, you want it, please buy it sooner rather than later, okay? But it will be around for quite a while. And when I say that, I mean, I'm anticipating that if a part of the product collection sells out, Stampin' Up! Will be getting more of it, okay? That's what I mean, because it is geared towards Valentine's Day, but you know me, I can't buy a bundle or paper and think it's only for one thing. I want to use it multiple ways. So look at this set. First of all, right here, spring, summer flowers, even fall leaves, but could be anniversary, wedding, bridal shower, just to tell a friend or a family member you love them, appreciate them, making Valentines. You can use the to, from, for gift tags any time of year. So that's that, okay? All right, everybody enjoy your Halloween evening. I'm excited to see Riley in her monkey costume. I have seen it. I have seen her in it. We went to the lights, the pumpkin, what was it called? Pumpkins Aglow at the conservatory on Saturday evening. So I got to see it then, and it's super cute. The funny thing is though, this little girl loves to wear like a sand bucket, or she has a pumpkin bucket pail that she likes to walk around with on her head. But the monkey costume has a hood, and the hood, when it's up on the child's head, is the monkey's face. Well, every time they try to put the hood up on her, she says, no, 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 and pushes it down. No, 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 and pushes that hood down. So we're laughing. So we're curious to see if tonight might be different and she'll let us get a picture with the hood up. Who knows? I will post some pictures of her tomorrow just because she is so funny and she brings so much joy to so many people. Have a good evening, and I will be posting these projects to stampinpiece.com and my YouTube channel in the next day or so. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Facebook, Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe. Bye-bye.